This time around, it's the turn of Microsoft's brand new attack simulator, which comes as part of its security feature in Microsoft 365. And I'm going to explain exactly what it is and why you need it. So, are you ready? Let's take a look. Hi everyone, Andy Malone, Microsoft MVP and Microsoft Certified Trainer. You know, receiving malicious email, threats, ransomware, spam can be quite traumatic, not to mention expensive. So Microsoft have come up with something quite interesting. It's part of their Microsoft 365 security suite, and it's a new attack simulation suite. Absolutely awesome. So I thought on this episode, let's take a look at exactly what it is and how it works. Just a quick reminder, of course, if you've not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you don't miss future postings. So, are you ready to learn? Let's go. So, if you've ever thought I'm at the threat of being hacked, well, of course, there are lots of hackers out there. And don't worry, though, this is quite an interesting little ingenious piece of software. This is called HackerType, so I'm not really doing any hacking. This is what they use in the movies. But it does present a real issue for some people because hacking, of course, is real and there's a lot of money to be made in it. So how can we protect ourselves? Well, this time I thought we would talk about some useful defense mechanisms. Now, again, there's a few tools out there. So Google do this one, the Google phishing quiz. So this is great for employee security awareness training. So definitely take a look at that. It's absolutely free. And you'd be surprised how good some of these phishing quizzes are. But then you think, okay, well, I know that I'm doing a quiz. So yeah, how would I react if it was real, if I'd received real emails? So what I'm going to do this time around is I'm going to have a look at the new Microsoft Attack Simulator training. Now, this comes as part of Microsoft 365. So what I've done here is I've got a user. I've got a user here called Jean-Luc Picard. I'm a Trekkie. What can I say? And I've given Jean-Luc a license for Microsoft 365, and I've also configured his account with multi-factor authentication. Okay, so you can set him up for multi-factor authentication. By the way, that reduces the chance of attack by up to 99%. So really improve your chances of better security. Definitely switch on multi-factor authentication. Now, if you want to see how to do that, I've done previous videos, so go ahead and look on my YouTube channel for that. So what I'm going to do though is, now that I've set my user up, I want to obviously try with the attack simulator. So we go into security here. Now, if you go into security and you go into the attack simulator here, this is the old version. So this is the old security and compliance center. So what you need to do is, once it opens up, there is a link here at the top to the new security center. So again, we just click onto that and we'll get into there. Okay, so you can see here the link has come through, so I click onto that and this opens up the all new shiny security admin center in 365. And the idea is, as an organization, it gives you a lot more visibility into the potential threats within your company. And one of those threats, of course, comes from phishing attacks, malicious emails, telling you that your Netflix account or your Microsoft 365 account is about to expire. So, but we can use that experience to our own benefit. So security awareness training is something that is really important that you can do with your users to improve their knowledge, not just from a business standpoint, but also personally as well. So in here, first of all, we have an overview, and this is, you can see it's just simply out of the box. This tells me that I've not done any simulations at the moment. It makes some nice recommendations, so how to do it. So run a simulation. Now the one thing is, to set this up, your users do need to be pre-configured with multi-factor authentication, so you can go ahead and set that up. How do I do that? Absolutely super simple. You can click on the multi-factor authentication button here in users, and all you do is just simply select the user. So for example, I've got a user here called Albert Smith. I want to enable multi-factor authentication for Albert, and that's now successful. So I've gone ahead and I've done that. So that's perfect now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this attack simulator. And we have a number of different simulations. So this shows me, are there any simulations that have been ongoing? Do I want to have a look at any potential payloads? And these payloads, by the way, they're really up to date. So for example, you'll notice some of these things like DHL parcel tracker. I think I've had a few of those. Things like Dropbox. Of course, there's Microsoft 365, Facebook account. So your Facebook account has been hacked and things like that. Office 365 subscription has expired. There's coronavirus ones in here, all designed to evoke a response from you. Now, typically, most phishing emails come with either a threat or a warning or something that to drive alarm in you. Oh no, I'd better get this done. Or oh no, my password's going to run out. Or oh no, my bank account has been hacked. So they're forcing you, they're enticing you to go and actually click on something. Now, of course, a malicious email can take the form of a number of things. It can be a link in an email, malicious link. And the easy way to do that is basically when you're, in fact, if I just move over here to, sorry, where am I? Yes, in here, if I go into Jean-Luc Picard's email, you can see that I've got an email from the Sterling test group here. But when I float my mouse pointer over it, you can see that the real email address pops up. So that's a really good tip. Just, float your mouse pointer over an email address, and it will just tell you whether that email address is real. It will show you the real email address. So if you think it's from your bank, have a closer look. You might be surprised. But needless to say, there are users, and we're all guilty of this. We're all, okay, I'll just click on it. I'll get it fixed. And it's so easy to do. So as I said, you've got all of these different payloads that you can send out. By the way, you probably heard of Power Automate. So you can set up Power Automate, and this works with the automations, especially with the attack simulation training. So you can create that automation. If I go into settings here, you've got a couple of things. Obviously, we want to train people. We're not looking to trip people up here. We're looking to train people to make them more confident, to make them more knowledgeable. So repeat offender threshold. Has the same person clicked on something twice, or, have they been duped more than twice? If they have, obviously, then what you can do is you can say, okay, let's get some training in there for you. So one of the really nice things about the security center now, sorry, that's the old security center. Let's go back. So one of the nice things about this now is that you've also got some inbuilt training with it. Let me just go back to the security center here. Okay. So this new security center in 365 has had a real makeover recently, and we now have this new learning hub as well. So this is fantastic because it doesn't just show you video training, but it also takes you to the docs.microsoft.com portal where you can actually learn all the documentation. So you've got all the training materials here as well. And the idea is it obviously improves your security. So as I say, you can switch that on here. Also, we've got some viewing tools here for reporting tools. You can do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create today a new simulation. And am I trying to harvest the credentials of a target? Am I looking to attach some malware? Do I want to put a potential malicious link and pull them to a site where we have what we call a man-in-the-middle attack? So you think you're connecting to your bank, but actually you're connecting to a third-party site where the guy is trying to harvest your credentials. Do you link to malware? Or is it a drive-by attack, a drive-by URL? So, hey, you put in your credit card here and, thanks very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on a malware attachment for this demo, and I'll click next, and I will just call this my, I'm in Scotland, so I'll call this my Scottish, in fact, I'll call it my Scottish HR test. So I'm testing this for my HR people. Oops, would help if I spelt it correctly, of course. I can put a little description in there of what the simulation is. I'm going to click on next. So it tells me a little bit about what's happening. So I can choose what payload do I want to put in here. So again, this is depending on what type of company you are. You might be a marketing or a finance company. It could be voicemail. You're looking for something that would typically trip people up. Now, you're not looking to trip them up in purpose. What you're doing is you're looking to educate them at the dangers of this. So what I'm going to do is, let's say, for example, I haven't sent a fax since the 1990s, so I don't think I'm going to travel back in time. So what I might do is I might choose, let's say, a voicemail attachment. So there's a brand new voicemail attachment for you, or again, it could be real estate maybe, and you can also add, you can create a payload as well. So I can go in here, I can say what kind is it? Is it an SMS? Is it a Teams? So that's quite interesting as well. So today I'm just going to do that email one. All right. So I'm going to do an email attachment, and again, you can choose the attachment that you want. Okay. So I'm just going to go back. So again, is it a email attachment? I'll say yes, and then you can give it a name. So I'll just call this bank 1 and click next. And again, I can say, okay, what's the sender's details? Well, I could say Bill Gates. Okay, and from his email address, Bill G at Microsoft.com. Okay. What's the email subject? Okay. New job. Okay. Offering. Okay. Oops. So we're going to offer. So you can literally make this from anyone. You can assign the attachment. I'll just say it's a job offer. Okay. And again, you can choose the attachment type. I'm going to make it a docx. You can even choose the theme. So what kind of theme of the email do you want to put in? There's a whole bunch of stuff in here that you could put in. So it could be an account verification. It could be a payment, a password detail. Your mail was received. Yeah, that's fine. Is there a particular brand? So again, you could say, Bill Gates, Microsoft, of course. And again, you can specify the industry that you're working for. So again, IT, and again, you can say, is it a current event? Yes. Is it controversial? Not really. Okay. You can then, of course, create your own email. So I'll just say, come and work for us. Okay. And I'll just say Bill. Alrighty, so you can format that. You can. I'm sure you could do a lot better than I could, and you can also drop in code there as well. So I'm going to click on next. Do you want to add an indicator here? So again, an indicator, you can, as it says, indicators to the payload to educate your users, things to look out for. Again, you could do that. I'm not going to bother this time. So again, a nice review. I'm happy. I'm going to now submit that. Okay, so I've created my payload. So you could really customize this for your own business so that it looks real. This typically would be called a spear phishing attack, by the way. So you would make it look like it's coming from somebody within the company, your boss or your finance officer or something like that. So it takes a couple of minutes. So the payload is created. And I'm now going to go into this. So again, here's my Bank One payload that I'm going to send. And I'll say, okay, who do I want to send this to? I can send it to all users or just a specific user. Now, in this case, I'm going to send it to Jean-Luc. So his name is Picard J. And I'll just do a quick search for him. And here he is. Okay, so Captain Picard, he's asking for a job at Microsoft, so I'm going to add him in here. And you can see he's now been added. So I'm going to go off and send this now to him. So it's saying, okay, this is, now what you can do here is you can say, okay, afterwards, you could say, hey, look, this was not real. Don't worry about it. We recommend some Microsoft training or no training. So again, we have that same kind of videos that the user can watch, some documentation that they can read about, and you can select a training course. So you can do it automatically, or you can select your own training course there. When do they need to do the training? So again, by default, 30 days, 7 days, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to click next. And again, I can click on the preview. So let's have a look at the preview. Just close that down. So, hey, this is the kind of this is what the preview would see. So the user opens the message, and that's what they would obviously get. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click onto that. And I'm going to say I want to launch this as soon as possible. The other thing you could do, you can also schedule that too. Enable region aware. So obviously that could be time zone sensitive. So you can do that. So I'm going to click on next. I get a nice review. And again, you can send a test. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click on submit. So that now goes off and it submits it. Okay, so the simulation has been scheduled. I'm going to now click on this. And you can see the one I made earlier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip over into Jean-Luc's email. And look at this. Hey, I've got a job offering from Bill Gates. So, of course, I'm very excited about this. Look, come and work for us. A job offer. Wow, this looks awesome. So I'm going to open up this email. And, wow, I just got to open up this Word document. And look at this. It's okay. So you've taken, this is obviously, it's showing me that it's a simulation. You're only human, easy to do. Why not come and take our training? Okay. So really, the idea is it's going to really, hopefully, improve your security awareness with your people. All right, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the attack simulator. Let me just close that email down. So now that Bill's opened that email, of course, now that Jean-Luc, rather, has opened that email, you can now see I can go back here to the portal, and it now gives me an update. So it shows me, I've got a compromised user here. So this compromised user, what do I want to do? I obviously want to think about doing some training with them, and yeah, that's just one example. So again, you can really customize this and make it very, very interesting for your staff. So there you have it, Microsoft's brand new attack simulation software, which comes as part of Microsoft 365. As always, if you've enjoyed this session, go ahead, click on that subscribe button, ring that bell so that you don't miss any future postings. And please, if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and put them below. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. You stay safe. Thanks so much for dropping by. Remember, you can visit me at andymalone.org and go ahead and click on that subscribe button so that you don't miss a thing. I'll see you next time.